Hello students, welcome back to the video series of web technology, and today's topic is basic tags of HTML. I am your instructor Miss Shruti Rawal. So friends, in last lecture we have already studied what are the basics of HTML, and we have gone through a little bit of working of HTML. Also at last we have seen what is the basic syntax of HTML. I hope you remember the basic syntax of HTML. So let us quickly revise what was the syntax. So basically HTML is divided into two parts, that is head and body. And we have already studied that head portion contains the information, whereas all the things that you want to get displayed onto the browser, that is written into the body section of HTML. So this is the part that we have already discussed in the previous lecture. If you are not aware about the basic syntax, please review my last lecture. Now let us study the basic tags of HTML, and let us go to the outline of today's lecture. So the first thing that we are going to study today is how to run an HTML file. So in last lecture, basically we had studied what is the syntax of HTML, but we had not studied about the execution of an HTML file. It means we don't know up till now how to run an HTML file. So in today's lecture, we are going to study step by step that how are we actually running an HTML file onto a browser. The next thing that we are going to study today is heading tag. Now this is a very crucial tag which is widely used in the web pages. So please pay attention while we are studying heading tags. The next tag is or a set of tag that we are going to study is paragraph and break tag. Now basically there is a similarity between paragraph and break tag that we will see what is the similarity, but they are basically different tags and they are used at different places. So we will study in detail what do you mean by a paragraph tag and what do you mean by a break tag. Okay, so let us quickly jump to the first thing, that is how to run an HTML file. For running a HTML file, the first step is, now here basically I am defining the step for the Windows user. If you are a Mac user, you can accordingly select your steps, right? So what is the step for Windows 8 or later version? The first step of Windows 8 or later version is you have to open the start screen. Now what is a start screen? Start screen is nothing but there is a window symbol in the left hand side in the bottom of your computer screen. You have to click on that symbol and you have to write in the search bar notepad. Okay, you can write notepad, notepad plus plus, Sublime, whatever text editor you are going to use. We have already studied in the last lecture that HTML code is basically written in a simple text editor. Okay, you can use any text editor, whatever text editor, if you are whatever text editor you are using, that is okay with HTML file. The thing that you need to do in step 1 is you have to open that particular text editor. The next thing is if you are using Windows 7 or earlier version. So the step 1 for Windows 8 or later version was you have to open the start screen. But in Windows 7 or earlier version, the methodology of starting a notepad is little bit different, in which you have to open start and then you have to go to programs, and in programs you have to go to accessories, and in accessories you will get notepad. Okay, so if you are using a simple notepad file, so the method is you have to open start, programs, accessories, and then notepad. Okay, so this is the step number 1, and this step is basically designated if you are writing the code in a simple notepad file. Clear? Now what is step number 2? So after opening a notepad file, the step number 2 basically is designated to writing some HTML code in Notepad. As you can see over here, I have written a simple HTML code. Okay, now let us see what I have written in this HTML code. You can see that I have basically used the HTML syntax, that is opening HTML tag and closing HTML tag. And inside these HTML, what have I written? I have written body tag. Okay, now you may ask or you may wonder that, ma'am, where is the head portion in this HTML? So basically I have told you that head is only used if you want to give some sort of information for your HTML file. Now, if I don't want to give any information about my web page or HTML file, you can skip the head portion. So here I am only suggesting you that please run this file, and I don't want to give any information about the user or this HTML web page. So I have skipped the head portion and have written only the body section. Inside this body section, I have basically used two tags. The first one is heading tag and the second one is paragraph tag. We will in the later sections study what do you mean by a heading tag and what do you mean by a paragraph tag. But currently you need to understand that we have basically written a simple body syntax in which we have used two tags, and the content that we have written in between the opening and closing tag of heading and paragraph, that content will basically be displayed into your web browser. So this is step number 2, in which you will write some code of HTML into your Notepad file. Okay, now let us move to the step number 3. After writing an HTML file, what is the step number 3? The step number 3 is basically you have to save this file. Okay, so how will you save the file? Basically you will select the file menu. In the menu you will select file, and then you will select save in the Notepad menu, right? So after selecting the save or save as portion, what you will get? You will get this wizard. Okay, so you will get a save as wizard. In that save as wizard, you will be asked to write the file name. So whatever file name you want to give, it is okay. That file name is basically a user defined file name, but it is recommended that you have to write the file name according to your web page. Okay, so by default, whenever any website is using the home page or the first page to display, the first page is normally index page, right? So if you are using the first page or the home page, which is by default displayed in your website, you can give index.html. Now what is this .html? We have not discussed what is .html in the last lecture. So in today's lecture, you have to basically understand what do you mean by .html. We know that whatever file we are saving in the Notepad, it has an extension. It has a desktop extension, right? Like by default, if you save a Notepad file, it will have a .txt extension. But this particular HTML file is not a text file. It is an HTML file which we need to run in the browser. So text file cannot be run into the browser. It will not it will not retrieve the desired result what we want. So how will we get the desired result? By giving our file .html or .htm extension. Both these extensions are accepted for an HTML file, that is .html or .htm. Okay, so what is the third step? The third step is you have to save your file using .htm or .html extension. Also, I have here given UTF-8 as an encoding. Now, by default, whatever encoding format is there, it is okay, but UTF-8 is the best and recommended encoding type for an HTML file. So it is very recommended that you use UTF-8 encoding format while saving your Notepad file. Clear? So this was step number 3. Now step number 4, basically you have now written the HTML code into your Notepad file. The only thing that is remaining is to run this file on your browser. Okay, and in last lecture we have already studied that you may use any browser of your choice. The step number 4 basically is designated for running your HTML file, and for running an HTML file you have to do only you have to double click on the file that is saved. You have saved your file in some sort of location. For example, I may have stored my file directly on my desktop, so I have to go to my desktop screen. I have to click on the file which I have saved. You have to double click the file and you are ready to go. It means you will get a web browser which is by default selected. If you want to run your HTML file into some other browser, what can you do? You will have to go to the file location. You will have to right click on the file. You have to choose open with, and you will be given different sort of options of the browser. You can select any browser of your choice and run your HTML file onto that browser. After running the HTML file, this is some sort of code that we have run earlier. Sorry, we have written earlier, and this will be the display screen of your browser. So quickly recall what was the thing that we had written in an HTML code. We had written only heading and paragraph, and in that we had written the content. What was the content that here we had written in heading? It was my first heading, and in the paragraph we had written my first paragraph. So this is the text that we are getting onto the display of your chosen web browser. Clear? So these are the 4 steps in which you can run an HTML file. The next tag is heading tag. Now I have already told you that heading is one of the most crucial tag which is widely used in the web pages. And what is this heading tag used for? Heading tag is basically used for defining the headings of a page. Now what do you mean by a heading? We all in our day-to-day life read newspapers, right? And in newspaper, what is the first thing that catches your attention? It is the topmost heading of the newspaper that catches your attention. Also, apart from the topmost heading, you have small heading topics below your topmost heading, and after that small headings, you have the content of the newspaper. Now, what does a user do while reading a newspaper? The user first catches the heading or the topic of the heading, and if he or she is interested in that heading, then they will basically read the whole content after the heading, right? So these particular heading tag in the web pages exactly serve the purpose as in the heading of the newspaper. It means that web pages is basically divided into a proper structure in which you have heading and then you have content of that particular heading. Okay, so what if I want to write that heading? If you want to write a heading in the structure of a web page, you can use heading tag. Now what is the basic syntax of heading tag? The basic syntax of heading tag is HN. You can see here I have written HN. Now what do you mean by HN? H is the alphabet that is used for the syntax of heading, and N is a variable number which is starting from 1 and ranging till 6. It means in total you have 6 headings, that is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. And these particular numbers basically are deciding the font size and the heading structure of your particular web page. What do you mean by heading structure of your web page? It means that if you are using H1 heading, it is basically designated to the most important heading of your web page, and that heading will be in the largest font from the series of H1 till H6. If you are using H2, then it will be a little bit smaller font than H1, and so on. So in short, H6 is the heading which has the least which is the least important heading, and it has the smallest font among H1 till H6, and H1 is the heading which has the most largest font. Okay, now basically H1 is not a standalone tag. It is a tag which is coming in pair. It means it has an opening tag and it has a closing tag. Whatever content you want to write inside the H1, you have to write between this opening and closing tag. Okay, now whatever thing or whatever text you are writing inside this H1, that will be in the bold format by default, and the size of the font will be dependent on this number structure, right? So let us see an example so it will get clearer. So here you can see this is a sort of web page that you see in your day-to-day life, right? Here you have headings. Okay, so here you can see this is the first heading, and I am telling that this is my most important heading, and so I have written these particular heading in which format? In H1 format. Now this is the second important heading, and this is written inside H2 tag. This is the third important heading which is written inside H3 tag, and this is the fourth important heading which is written inside H4 tag. Now what is the difference between H1, H2, H3 and H4? It is visibly clear that H1 font is larger than H2 font, H2 font is larger than H3 font, and H3 font size is larger than H4 font size. Here I have not included H5 and H6, but H5 is basically larger than H6, and H6 is the font which is the smallest. So by default, whenever you are structuring a web page, the most important heading you will give H1, and the least important heading you will give H6. It is not at all mandatory to use all these heading tags on your web page. It is totally dependent on you whether you want to use H2, H3, H4, H5, H6 or not. Okay. The next is, this is also another example for another type of web page. So here you can see that the first heading which is inside the menu of my web page, that heading has been given H1 font, and the next topic inside somewhere the content, that is given an H2 font, sorry, H2 heading, right? So it is okay if you are using H1 and H2 in your web page and not using the different other headings in your web page. Okay. Now, what is the importance of heading tag or using a heading tag? Basically, heading provides a valuable information for highlighting your topic. Okay, it means that if you want to uh, optimize the structure of your web page, and if you want to improve the user engagement with your web page, then you may use heading tag. Now imagine that you have a web page in which you don't have any topics or you don't have any headings, only you have written the content and you are presenting this content to the user. Will the user be interested in reading your web page? What is your answer? My answer is no, because if you don't have some sort of topic content structure in your web page, user will not at all be interested in your web page, right? So it is very important for basically optimizing the web page structure. The second thing is, this is very important rule of heading, that you don't need to use heading tag for creating big and bold text. It means if you are in the middle of the content and if you want some of your text to become larger, or if you want them to be displayed in bold format, don't use heading tag for that. Heading tag is not at all a formatting tag for bold and big text. Please make sure that you use this heading tag for the heading or the topics of your web page and not the content of your web page. Why so? Because the search engines, for example Google, use these heading tags while indexing the structure of your web page, and whenever the heading tag is encountered in your web page, it will basically index that as a topic or as a heading structure. If you are using this heading tag in between the content, the search engine will get confused and your structure or your indexing into the search engine will get messed up. So do not use the heading tag randomly, right? The next tag we are going to study is paragraph tag. And as the name says, what does a paragraph tag do? Basically, paragraph tag is used for defining a paragraph in your web page. It means it is basically used for defining the topic contents of your web page. Okay. Now, what is the syntax? The syntax is, the first thing that you have to write is P. And P is an alphabet that is used for defining paragraph. So that is an opening tag. In between, you have to write the content of your paragraph, right? So whatever content you are writing inside the paragraph, that you have to write between the opening P and the closing P. Okay, so this is a closing P, and here you have the opening P. In between closing and opening, you are writing the content of your paragraph. Clear? So the next thing is basically P tag by default adds a space before and after any paragraph. Okay, why it is so? Because it is the by default margin that is added by the browser. Whenever the browser encounters your paragraph tag, what it will encounter? It will encounter that I have to add, I means browser have to add space before this paragraph and after this paragraph. So this is a by default syntax of paragraph. Also, the next important thing in paragraph tag is that if user adds multiple lines between the paragraph, it means, for example, I have an opening paragraph tag and a closing paragraph tag, and in between I have written multiple lines. By multiple lines, I mean that I have used enter key in my keyboard and I have written number of lines. What will the browser encounter? Browser will basically encounter it as a single line. It will reduce all the multiple lines which is written in the same paragraph, and it will consider it as a single line. Let us see one example. So this is a piece of code. As you can see, I have a paragraph opening and closing tag, and in between what content I have written? I have written a content using carriage return. It means I have defined enter in some places and I have written multiple lines. So this is my piece of code. How will it get displayed into a browser? So this is how it will display. You can see that in the code, what I was writing, I was basically intending to write these lines one after another. But browser has encountered these as a single line and it is written in the same line. So this is by default a rule of paragraph, that if you are writing in a single paragraph and if you are using multiple lines, it will be considered as a single line. The next thing is similar to line, if you are adding space between the words. Okay, so by default, whatever space you are adding between the words, they will be reduced to a single space only. So if you are entering the space bar multiple times between two words, then also the browser will encounter that multiple space as a single space. So let us see an example. Again, this is the same code, but what have I done? I have added multiple space between two words. As you can see, I have randomly added spaces between words, and what will be the output? The output is same, right? The whole multiple lines is reduced to a single line. Also, the multiple space is reduced to a single space. So this is the by default rule for a paragraph tag. The next tag is break tag. Now, what is the basic syntax of break tag? BR. If you want to add a break line, then the basic tag for break line is BR. Now, what does basically a break tag do? Break tag inserts a single line break. So, if you write a single BR tag, it will insert a single line break. If you insert multiple BR tag, the number of BR tag that you have inserted will be equal to the number of breaking of the lines. It means if I have inserted 4 BR tags, then my 4 line will be breaked, and after that 4th line, my next text will get resumed. Okay, now this BR tag is basically different than most of the tag that we have seen up till now. Why so? Because BR tag is a standalone tag. It is an empty tag. Okay, what do you mean by an empty tag? Empty tag, it means that it does not have an end tag. All the tags till now were coming in pairs. It means I had an opening tag and I had a closing tag. But BR tag is such a tag which does not require an ending tag. So it is also known as a standalone or empty tag. Now, this is one of the basic understanding of BR tag. It means that it is working similarly as you are pressing enter in your word processor. So if you are writing some sort of text in a word file, what does this BR tag do in your HTML code? It exactly works the same as you are pressing an enter in your Word document. Okay, so as soon as you press enter, what happens? You are basically resuming from the next line. BR does the same thing. Now let us move on to an example of BR tag. And before moving to the example, you can see that you have to use BR tag in either this way or this way. It means you can write BR or you can write BR slash. Both are accepted in HTML, but what is recommended? BR slash is recommended because BR slash is basically accepted format which is supported in both HTML and XHTML, whereas BR is supported in HTML while it is not supported in XHTML. Okay. Now let us move to the example of BR tag. Here you can see that I have a paragraph. It means I have a P opening tag and a P closing tag. And inside the paragraph, what have I written? I have written a normal text. And in between text, what have I inserted? I have inserted BR tag. So you can see this is the first BR that I have inserted. This is the second BR that I have inserted. And this is the third BR that I have inserted. So there are basically how many BR tag? There are 3 BR tag which I have inserted. So these particular paragraph will be broken down into 3 multiple lines. So let us see the output. You can see the output. This is how you will get the output. Wherever you have inserted the BR tag, that line will be breaked and the next line will be resumed from the following line. Okay, so this was an example of break tag. Now you may wonder that paragraph does the same thing. Okay, it means paragraph is also breaking a line and break is also breaking a line. Then what is the basic difference between paragraph tag and break tag? Now, according to the name only, you have to use both of these tags. It means wherever you want to basically define a paragraph, then and then only you are using P tag. You are not at all using paragraph tag for breaking the line. Wherever you want to break the line, you are using break tag. Let us see the actual difference that is between paragraph tag and break tag. HTML paragraph are defined by P tag, whereas HTML line break is defined by BR tag. This is the basic syntax difference between both of them. The second is in the code difference. As you can see, this is a code for paragraph tag. In this code, what I have done, I have written 2 paragraphs and I have written some content in both of these paragraphs, right? What is the result or what is the output? You can see this is our output, right? In output, you can see that by default an empty line is added, right? As soon as you write P tag, and if you are writing any other tag following the P tag, an empty line is by default added by your browser that we have already seen. Now let us move on to the break tag syntax. You can see this is a break tag syntax in which I have only written BR tag once. Okay, so I have 2 lines basically and I want to break both of them. So I have inserted a BR tag in between. What is the output? This is the output. You can see this is an output, and in output you can see that both the lines both of them are basically coming one after the another. There is no empty line added in between as it was in the paragraph tag. So this is the basic difference between a P tag and a BR tag, that whenever you are using a paragraph tag, by default an empty line will be added, whereas if you are using a break tag, it is strictly for breaking the line and your next line will be started immediately after the first line. No empty line is added in between. So this is a the syntactical difference and the output difference between P tag and BR tag. So use them very wisely. Do not use them interchangeably. That is not at all recommended while structuring your web page. Okay, so this was all about today's lecture. Thank you from my side.